There we are. All right, there we are. Hello, ladies. Good evening. How are you? I feel like I want to tag some people here. So I am live here on Facebook. Good evening. How are you? Happy Friday, Friday before Mother's Day. And I am also live on YouTube. So hello, YouTube audience, all the Googlers out there, all the YouTubers out there. Hello, hello, hello. Theresa Campbell, your branding expert and the group admin for Power for Women Entrepreneurs on Facebook. And Power right now stands for Pursuing Our Wealth, Health, and Entrepreneurship Relentlessly. However, I am revisiting that. Still will have wealth and health and entrepreneurship involved, of course, in the title, but I'm just going to expand on that, especially for 2021, considering everything that we have been through in 2020. Welcome. How are you today? How are you? Just seeing who is tuning in. So I think tomorrow, again, I will be here. This boot camp is through the month of May, and it is a branding boot camp. My specialty, marketing and branding, digital marketing specifically, and really helping women entrepreneurs make a name for themselves in the marketplace, make money, and just be seen, heard, and paid. Okay. That's what I typically say, seen, heard, and paid. And what I have a passion for is really taking an idea from nothing, making it into something, and building a legacy around that, not just something where you want a few dollars over 6 months, something where it has some legs, okay? I am Theresa Campbell, again, your branding expert, excuse me, and you can find me at vnextentertainment.com. So I want to open up, as I have for the past 2 days, with just a bit of storytelling, if you don't mind, just a bit of storytelling. So tonight we are talking about how to have a breakthrough today, not tomorrow, not 6 months from now, not after you invest 6 figures in a coach, not after, whatever. You can have a breakthrough tonight. You do not have to wait. Okay. Oh, before we get into all of that, can we check out this? Now, when I wore this in Italy, oh my God, I can't even show you. I want to show you, but it's quite embarrassing. When I wore this the first time, it was snug on me. It was snug. I don't know if you can see this, but it's got some room in here. And I had to pin it up in the back in order to wear it. So I'm super excited and happy about the transformation that I'm having in myself. So physically in my body. So here's what I'll say about that too. The transformation starts in the mind, and then everything else follows. The transformation starts in the mind, and then everything else follows. It is so true what they say. Change your mind, change your life. Change your mind, change your life. There's no other way around it. All right, so if you are stuck in a rut and your life is not going anywhere, you want to break through, now is the perfect time. Not a month from now, not last year. Today is the perfect time, and here's why. We went through 2020 wearing a mask, being socially distant, having to stand 6 feet apart from each other, not being able to travel the way we're accustomed to travel, not going into offices, not having a concert, or being able to go out to brunch with your girlfriends on a Sunday. And we accepted that. We had no choice. There was an invisible virus, and we accepted the invisibility of something that was killing people. We accepted the strength and the power of something that was invisible. And so for people who are sitting on your sofa, laying in your bed, watching me, thinking, I need proof, I have to see it first, that is not true. I'm not going to call you a liar, but that's not true. We have just experienced, again, the power of what you can't see. We've just experienced how powerful something can be when you believe in it. When your mind tells you this is real. You don't even see it. You didn't see the virus. You saw the results. You saw the effect. You saw people getting sick, countries shutting down, but you didn't see an actual virus. And so if you were to apply, here's the question: what would happen for you if you were to apply that same strength that you power that you put behind COVID-19? What would happen if you applied that to what you need to break through in your life? What would happen? What would happen if you put the same faith, that's the word, if you put the same faith behind the invisibility of procrastination, the invisibility of overeating, the invisibility of confusion, not being able to settle on a business idea, the confusion of blaming other people, pointing fingers at other people. What if you put faith behind, the same amount of faith behind, I can do this? You don't have to see it. 2020 has proven that to us. You do not need to see it to believe it. You can believe it without ever seeing it. All you need is somebody telling you that it's real, seeing a result, an effect, and all of a sudden you believe it. All of a sudden you take it as Bible, you believe it, you take it as faith, and you're like, this thing is real. Why not apply that same faith and the same vigor behind that faith to what you need to break through in your life? That's what this is about. Also for 2020, what I have learned is that you can break every rule. Every rule that you think is set in stone, sorry, baby girl, 2020 has told us that you can break it. Okay, remember, you had to stand 6 feet apart in the grocery store line. You had to wear a mask everywhere you went. Okay, you could not just fly. Airplanes were not, taking people anywhere for a few months. Okay, so you can break every rule. You can write the rules the way that you want to write them along the way. And I think what happened is that we took a lot for granted. And now we're at a point where, okay, now what do I do? Where am I going? If you didn't use the downtime in 2020 to already start to work on yourself and start the process of breakthrough, now you're realizing, okay, everything's going to open up soon. What do I do now? If that's you and you're ready for a breakthrough, you're ready to get on the other side of whatever it is for you, procrastination, making more money, getting more clients, figuring out what your next move is, up-leveling, whatever that is for you, tonight is your night. Now, I've decided to cut this up into 2 parts. So tonight is part 1. We're going to go over the first 3 steps. And tomorrow night, Saturday, we're going to go over the last 4. Breakthrough is not easy, but it can be done. Breakthrough is something you have to do. You cannot stay the same and expect to get to the next level. Remember the famous quote, the definition of insanity is thinking that you can do the same thing and expect a different result. If you want a different result, you've got to do something different. There's no way around it. If you want 5 clients, whatever you're doing today, obviously, you need to stop doing because it's not getting you those 5 clients. If you want to travel around the world, whatever you are doing today, you've got to stop doing because it's not allowing you to travel around the world. If you want to speak on stages with thousands upon thousands of people, whatever you are doing today, you have to stop doing. You have to stop it. Cease, stop doing it so that you can start speaking on stages. All right. So breakthrough is something that changes the course of your life. It changes your course. You are literally going down a different path. Okay, it changes your life going forward and ensures that things will never be the same. I'm going to drill into this, but as you're coming in, I want you to shout out where you're watching from. Comments, let me know that you are watching the replay. If you're watching the replay, hashtag breakthrough. Again, that's what the next 2 nights are about. And this topic is so close to my heart because Lord knows I have been through one breakthrough after another after another. Hi, thank you so much for watching. So here's what a breakthrough means for me. You want people to ask you, hey, what are you doing? You look different, you sound different, you act different. You want people to ask you those things. That's when you know you've gotten to a breakthrough. You need to channel your emotions. Now, a lot of people will say, you know, I grew up very Southern Baptist, very holiness, and, you know, you always had to act a certain way and you had to be kind of dainty. You could not be angry. You couldn't do any emotion, right, to a high level. But I'm going to challenge you. Get mad, get upset, get angry, laugh loud, okay? Laugh loud, dance hard, sweat. Let your emotions come out. Let them come to the forefront because that will be, your emotions are guideposts and they lead you to, one, what you really want to do. What bothers you, whatever bothers you the most is more than likely where your destiny lies. You want to fix it. Your emotions also lead you to the pain point in your life, like what really is bothering you so much so that you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't talk, you can't go to certain places, you know, you can't get anything done, you can't complete your work, you can't complete your job, you're afraid to talk, you shake. Allow yourself to go all the way to the edge of that. Allow yourself to just jump off into the fear, jump off into the shyness, I mean, imagine this, you know, being online in front of who, God knows who, okay, and being okay with that, just knowing that I'm coming from a place of I'm sharing my expertise, what I know, what has worked for me, and also just through a lot of research. I'm studying for my MBA right now, and I'm taking a lot of business courses. And here's how I look at this. You know, I'm going to milk every minute of every day. I'm not going to sit on my laurels. I don't have downtime. I don't believe in downtime. I don't believe, you know, who has downtime? I only want uptime, meaning I'm going to level up, I'm going to read, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to network, I'm going to share, I'm going to focus on my clients. So there's no such thing as downtime. All right, so channel your emotions. And here's what I'll say before I get into the first 3 of what we're going to talk about tonight, is that what the devil meant for harm, God can make for good. Okay, what the devil meant for harm, God can make for good. So I'll just share a little bit of my story, you know, and that's with everything. I've said it before, I'll say it again, there's no order of difficulty in miracles. A miracle is a miracle is a miracle. There is no difference. So whether it be physical abuse, I lived with physical abuse, I don't know, for about 7 years, right after high school. So it was tough. I didn't know who I was. I was struggling not only to find myself, but also to be a wife, to be a mom. And, you know, I was in love, and there was nothing that was going to stop me from staying with my husband and being in love, not even his fist, not even his emotional abuse, not even the pinches, not even. I just wanted to be married, and I wanted to be a good wife. I wanted to be a good mother. And for me, especially again, coming from a religious background, it was you stay no matter what. Until I found out better. thanks to a couple of great friends, thanks to really just praying to God for answers and praying that He would show me a sign as to what I needed to do next. And so that started my personal development. Again, I was in my early 20s, and it was not easy. Even still, just talking about it is tough, because I know there are a lot of women still dealing with this issue. And physical abuse is not always seen. No one could see my physical abuse. I never had a black eye. I never had, I never had any bruises that folks could see. I would have bruise maybe on the inside of my elbow and on the inside of my thighs, and he would lock me in the bathroom, and I couldn't get out, and call me horrible names. And so, and just make threats about me as a mom, and it just all kinds of craziness, pushing me down outside. And so, but he would do these things when people weren't around. And so I encourage you, if you are dealing with physical abuse, any type of spousal abuse, dating abuse, look, if you say no during sex, whether you are married or not, a no is a no. And so maybe you think that if you are married and you say no, that's not rape. It is. And so I encourage you, if you are dealing with some type of physical abuse, please seek some help. Please ask for help. Just talk. You don't have to. I never really told what was going on. I just wanted to talk to people. And in talking to people, it comes out. People know the spirit is real and intuition is real. And people will ask you, if all you need to do is just get around someone that you trust and start talking. And so I encourage you, if that's you, to talk, whether it be physical, whether it be verbal, whether it be emotional, no matter what type of abuse. If you are not happy, sis, you need to talk to someone about it. If you are not happy and you are afraid and scared and nervous to go home and nervous to talk around him and always walking on pins and needles, and I'm speaking directly to women. Again, this is streaming in my private Facebook group, Powerful Women Entrepreneurs. I'm also on YouTube. Now, if you're a guy, I'm not really speaking to you tonight, so my apologies. I am speaking to women, and those I don't tell you. So please guidance. Helping you. Okay. You get one. So here's you said in your children. I'm not sure what so most and break just so most there we go. All right, so I'm continuing there. I think we only just had a minute of delay. Everything you need in your life already exists. Everything you need already, whatever you need for your breakthrough, you already have. You don't need anything outside of you. Nothing outside of you can help you break through. It's all an internal game. The problem is often that your mind is blocking you from seeing the success tools you need to catapult your life into the right direction. So here's what I want to say about this. And then I'm definitely moving into my 3 tips for you on how to break through tonight. Cheers. Okay. I hope you have your happy hour libation. Mm. No, it's not champagne, ladies, but it is an awesome protein mix. Yum. Mm. So I am the oldest of 6 children. I come from a humongous family in the South and in the city. I'm part country, part city. I love it like that. And big families on both sides. And I always had hand-me-downs. I had hand-me-downs as long as I could remember. And what I didn't realize again until I started to do work on myself in my 20s, in my early 20s, was that always receiving something that other people have worn makes you think that getting second, being second, not really getting what you want is okay. Not being first, not having new, not having the best. After a while, you begin to think that that's okay, even as you grow up. And here's how that looks. You think that, you think that having one client is okay. You think that posting on social media 3 times a week is okay. You think that not reading consistently is okay. You tolerate mediocrity. You tolerate being average. You tolerate not giving everything that you do, everything that you have. That's how I internalized it. And so if I didn't get a promotion, it was okay. I didn't fight for me. So being second best, especially for you leaders and you ladies and the women entrepreneurs group here, as a leader, you have to fight for the best. Nobody remembers second. Everybody remembers who got first place. And so you're going to have to fight to be the best. You're going to have to fight against mediocrity. You're going to have to fight against average. And what does that mean? How does that look? You just show up and give it everything. You put your foot all the way down on the pedal every single time. Every single time. I surely could have showed up with the headscarf on. I surely could have showed up, with not being dolled up. I surely could have just showed up with a t-shirt. That's not me. That's not how I roll. Okay. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it with everything that I have. Everything that I have. Not 50%, not 70%, not 90%, 120. So there is a sales guru, I can't recall his name right now, but there's a sales guru who has this great 212 methodology, in the sense that water, you can put water on a stove, and if you had a temperature gauge, turn it up to 211, and the water would never boil. 211, the water would never boil. Turn it up to 212, and the water boils. And so it may just be 1 degree. You may just be 1 step away. You may just be 1 degree away. The water can stay on the stove all day long at 211 degrees, and it will never boil. Turn it up to 212. It's a scientific fact. Don't believe me, research it. Go ahead and Google. A scientific fact that when you turn it up to 212, the water boils. Okay, so I talked about hand-me-downs. I talked about second best. You need discipline. You need to desire more for yourself, desire better. I'm going to drill into this a little bit more. And here is the biggest part for me. I talked about this with one of my clients recently. I hope she doesn't mind me sharing it here. I'm not any specifics, but just sharing it here. What do you believe about yourself? And I'm going to talk about this a little bit more tonight. What do you believe about what do you believe about yourself? Forget everybody else. Forget husband, boyfriend, children, aunties, uncles, audience, even customers. Forget what they think. What do you think about yourself? And that's what I had to really stop and ask myself. Theresa, if you really want to do this, you want to do everything, okay? You want to travel, but you're not traveling. What does that say about you? You want to really have a business and work with other women, but you don't. What does that really say about you? Are you like, I'm this one day and I'm somebody else the other day, or I say one thing and I do another? Who are you really? What do you really believe about you? That's the number one. So 3 tips for tonight, part 1. There's no way to cover how to break through in a day, in one day, in one night, in 1 hour. So we're definitely coming back tomorrow night to finish up this topic. Get your pen and paper. If you have questions, go ahead and get those ready. And I'm going to share more about me, so you get to know me, I get to know you. And again, if you're watching the replay, #replay, let me know that you are watching. So in order to have a breakthrough, there's no way around this. Number 1, you must hit a low point. You must hit a low point. Now, that low point is different for everybody, right? My low point is different for you. Somebody else's low point is going to be different from yours. But you have to reach a point where what you are experiencing is causing you so much pain. And I'm going to take this a little bit further. The low point has to be so low that it is a matter of life and death. No other way around it, okay? No other way around it. This is not a fix that you need to tweak, right? I use that all the time, tweaking. It is not something that can be tweaked. I can tweak my hair, I can tweak my nails, I can tweak my makeup, but I can't tweak my procrastination. I've got to change that behavior. I can't tweak my guilty feelings or my self-sabotage. I can't. That's the one. Self-sabotage. You can't tweak self-sabotage. There's no tweaking that. You either have it or you don't. There's no tweaking procrastination. You don't tweak. You don't say, well, I'll procrastinate a little bit today. You don't do that. You either have it or you don't. You don't tweak overeating, right? You either overeat or you don't. That's what I mean by low point. Your mind and your inner woman, your spirit, has to be so convinced that if you don't change this behavior, you will die. There's no other way around it, sis. I'm sorry. There's no other way. So I'm a very competitive person. Everybody knows it. Very competitive. When I was in my corporate days, I was always about reaching the next ladder. And I was always gaming for the next promotion. So much so that people would say, oh, she's aggressive or she's assertive, or, you know, and at the time I took offense to those things. I took offense. And maybe when people would say that I was a little aggressive or assertive, I would kind of step back a little bit, right? Like, all right, let me not be too much. Let me not try so hard. But you know what happens? If it's inside of you, it's coming out. If it's inside, like not anything that you're faking or you're making up or you're whatever, if it is you, if it's your essence, if it's what God put on the inside of you, it is coming out. There's no way around it. So the more that I try to, you know, lay in the cut, as they used to say, or fall into the background, or give other people platform and not say what I know needed to be said, the more I did that, the more my inner woman was like, what the heck are you doing? Say something, speak up, you know, get out there, fight for what you want, be who you are. The more I went into the background, that voice on the inside started screaming at me. And so I was able to promote up time and time again, because for me, not being the best and not being at the top, I was losing sleep. I was not fun to be around. I was angry all the time. I was either angry or depressed. You know what I mean? Either angry or depressed and overeating. Okay, all of it. All of it. Because I wasn't happy with who the outside me was, in complete misalignment with the inside me. What was showing up was not what I was hearing on the inside. And so that's what I mean by low point. Like for me, I knew that if I didn't achieve my very best, it wasn't worth living for me. The lowest point of my life was when my mom passed away, and I just really couldn't comprehend, you know, someone's physical body being here one day and not being here the next. And it really did a number, because I had just spoken to her, like literally hours before. And so having spoken to her and realizing after the fact that I couldn't hear that she was telling me that maybe it was her last night. She was telling me that it was her last night, but I wasn't, the Theresa you see today was not the Theresa of 2007. Suffice it to say that I was completely in my head. I was completely entertainment, completely ego, like out to here. And so the fact that I spoke to her and then I get the call the next morning that she passed away, that whole thing threw me for a loop. I would walk along the train tracks and just think to myself, just slip, just, you know, the train is coming, just fall and you won't feel a thing. Or just walk over the freeway overpass and just kind of trip over the rail. It's amazing what happens when your mind is not in the right place. Those voices are very loud, and they're very creative. Okay, so if you are dealing with that, please talk to someone, call, get some help. Here's what I do know for sure. People already know. People already know. So I'll never forget, I was sitting in my office. I thought I was okay. I mean, I knew I wasn't okay, but I was going through the motions. I was showing up to work. I was dressing up. I was doing, you know, I was involved. I was doing a lot. I was doing my normal stuff. But obviously it was showing and people knew. And so one of the vendors that I had at the time walked into my office, and some of you have heard this story. My apologies for repeating. But one of the vendors that I was working with at the time walked into my office and said, "You need to watch this." And she handed me The Secret, the DVD, the movie. She handed me The Secret. Saved my life. Saved my life. Up until that point, I really didn't cry about my mother's death. I really didn't cry. I didn't like woo-hoo-hoo cry. Tears came out, but I didn't really cry. I didn't really still accept it as real. And when she handed me The Secret and I watched it every morning, I watched it for a year straight, 365 days, every morning before I went to work. And then I started this thing in the shower where when the water would hit me, the tears just fell out of my eyeballs. I couldn't even stop it. I couldn't. It's a weird feeling. Like I'd get in the shower, turn on the water, and the water out of my eyes would just, and I would sob in the shower right before I went to work. Anyway, The Secret saved my life. And from The Secret, I just delved into everything from that point on. That's when I learned about Wayne Dyer. I delved into everything Tony Robbins. I mean, I read everything, listened to everything that they created. Okay, this was back when going to the library was still a thing. And I would go to the library and just rent everything Tony Robbins one week, everything Wayne Dyer the next week. I then went into Albert Einstein. I read as much as I could. This stuff is way up there. But I started reading Albert Einstein. And if you're into personal development and you're into the psyche and change, reading Albert Einstein is a natural evolution, because you'll learn that even though he was a scientist, he arrived at all of these same conclusions. Change your life, change your mind. You want to change your life, you got to start with your mind first. And Albert Einstein understood that there is a God. There's no way that the sun is a certain amount, very specific distance from the earth, never moves a millimeter, an inch, and rises at the same time, goes down at the same time, in the ocean and the tides. You have to understand that there is a higher being. There is a God. I call it God, okay? You call it whatever you like. Anyway, so I delved into all of these things, Albert Einstein, and then I got to the electromagnetic field. I got to all of the waves. I got to the fact that there's more of what we don't see than what we see. We see this stuff, but there's more space, there's more, and what's in that? I got into sound waves because my mother had left me a message. And how is it I still have her voice and I still have the tape? How is it I still have that and she's not here? What happens to sound? I delved into all of that. I delved into, there was one other piece I wanted, what happens to sound as it goes into outer space? You know, what happens to my voice here? And now the side that I'm on is how will technology inform all of that from a scientific perspective? Anyway, back then, it's okay, 2009 or whatever, and 2010, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm getting through this. And it took me that long. It took me that long to say, wake up, Theresa. It took me 3 years to wake up, to snap out of it. So to everybody who is dealing with someone who is deceased, has passed away, my heart goes out to you. I know what that's like. Give yourself some grace. All I could do for myself during that time was to give Theresa some grace, give her a pass. So my friend walked in, gave me the secret. The rest is history. And I started climbing out of hell. And I started really working on me and understanding that that was low. Like, I don't know. I can imagine that that's what hell is like. You know, you think you're existing, but you're not. You think you're real, but you're not. You think you're here, but you're not. And you don't understand why everybody doesn't see it and say something to you. And people don't say anything to you. And you feel like a zombie. You feel like you're not real. You really feel like it's an alternate reality. And so I say all of that to say that now, thinking about that time in my life, I'm like, wow, I really went through that. Like, I can tell you about it now. I can talk about it now. But it's such a departure from who I am now. It's like a 180 degree Theresa. I can look at that period of my life now and go, wow, what a lesson. When I was in it, I couldn't say that. But now I can say what a lesson, because I can share it with everybody. You know what I mean? Like, you can get to the lowest point. There is no low that you cannot rise from. There isn't a hell that you can't crawl out of. You know what I mean? So I can now look back at that time and say, man, what a great lesson. Well, not a great lesson, but what a lesson. Because I lost my mom. So my arguments with God were really like, I had to go through that in order to get to this point. How unfair. Anyway, so your low has to be so low. Saying all that to say that your low has to be so low that you look back and you are 180 degrees different from that person. It has to be that big of a change. That's a breakthrough. You can do that tonight. You can do that absolutely tonight. You can start tonight. What is it for you? Is it overeating? Put it down. Just decide here right now today, I'm not going to eat this. There is a better way. So one of the things that I say, and I encourage you to use this, is, and this is what I share with my clients, is that bag of Oreo cookies going to stand in the way of your destiny, Theresa? And add your name to it, make it super personal, and say it just like that. procrastination. Are you really going to allow not making the call going to stand in the way of your destiny, Theresa? You have to make it personal. Again, add your name, make it very specific. I had a thing with alcohol as well. So I could down a bottle of champagne like nobody's business. So I would say to myself, are you really going to let that bottle of Prosecco, no matter how good it is, stand in the way of your destiny? This is a destiny conversation, all right? So the second one, I'll come back to that. So the first one was you've got to hit a low point. You've got to make a 180-degree change. It starts in the mind. Ask yourself, am I going to let blank stand in the way of my destiny? Add your name at the end. Am I going to allow fear stand in the way of my destiny? Theresa, now fear is big. You've got to break it down. It's not really fear. It's something else. I don't know, being alone. It's not even that, it's something else. Liking myself. Am I going to allow not being okay with the lady in the mirror stand in the way of my destiny, Theresa? Look, no more fake. Let's go all the way in. It's not fear, it's not loneliness, it's not heartbreak, it's not that, it's something else. Think about, of course, everyone says tie back to your childhood. Think about that. Like, it's not fear. We'll call it that, self-development, whatever. But it's really something deeper. I want you to go there. All right, let's go all the way. So number 2, analyze your story so far. This is big. Remember, breakthroughs are not, I have 7. We're only going to get through 3 tonight. Already have been on for 40 minutes or so, but I really want to take my time with this because it's so important. You cannot have a brand if you don't know who you are. You cannot have a brand if you don't, what are you talking about? Like, who are you? You don't have a brand if you're not showing up. You don't have a brand if people can't relate to you. You don't have a brand if you're hiding, okay? How do you not hide? How do you share your story? You got to know who you are. You've got to break through that crap that's preventing you from breaking through. So analyze your story so far. This is how this sounds. What lies are you telling yourself? What lies are you telling yourself? I call them lies. Some people say stories. What stories are you telling yourself? All right. The purpose of your story is so that you can become aware of the tape, 8-track, cassette tape, DVD, VHS, whatever it is, that you continuously play to yourself all day long. Nobody knows it. You just hear it all day long. Right? Oh, Theresa, you're not as pretty as the other girls. Oh, Theresa, your voice sounds like, whatever. You need to change your voice. Oh, Theresa, you need to change this. Oh, Theresa, you need to change that. Oh, if you would just, go over there and hang out with those people, you could have whatever you want. Oh, if you could just live in a different zip code, you could have whatever you want. Oh, if you just drove a fancier car, you could get a man. Oh, if you were taller, you could, whatever the case. Though money doesn't grow on trees, you got to work hard for the money. You have to be a stay-at-home wife and not. What stories are you telling yourself? What lies are you telling yourself that's really keeping you from having the breakthrough that you need? Okay. Well, I always get sick, so I got to make sure that I'm not doing anything too strenuous. Really? Have you checked? The human body is the most sophisticated machine ever. Okay. They will not be able to replicate our brain in 50 lifetimes. I don't care what they do. All right. The human body heals itself. It literally, scratch yourself and watch what happens a week later. It's gone. Try to find it. The human body is a miracle machine and it can heal itself. So when you say, I'm sickly, it's a lie. You're not sickly. It's a lie. And why have you adopted I'm sickly as a story? Who encouraged you to use that as a story when you were a kid? Okay. Again, for me, it was all, oh, here is one. This tonight is a prime example. You're so talkative, Theresa. Let other people talk. You always have something to say. I do. You talk really long. You always, your hand always goes up in class. On my first grade report card, this teacher, my entire first grade year, that's all she could ever write. Theresa's talkative. First grade. I'm like, of course we're talkative in the first grade. Who isn't? Pre-K. And I can remember these things. In pre-K, the teacher, you know, hand painting. They don't even hand paint anymore. But anyway, I'm hand painting and Theresa, stop talking. Just hand paint. I'm like, it's pre-K. You know what I mean? So, but before I got into my big woman pants, you know, early 20s, I took that on as my story. So people thought I was shy, but I was just not talking because I didn't want anyone to say, oh, she's talkative, or she's saying too much, or she's always got something to say. So I purposely just didn't say anything. And so people took that as shyness. I wasn't shy. I just didn't want to hear people say you talk too much. Now, I'm a bigger woman now, so I know how to cater talking and not talking. Very smart about it now. But the pendulum swung very wide for me on that. Okay. So what is the story that you're telling yourself? What story do you tell yourself that's preventing you from being the woman that you are called to be? This is what this is about. You're waiting and you need to stop waiting. You're waiting for a savior. You're waiting for someone to come in and swoop you up and say, oh, come on, come ride with me. We are going to change. It doesn't work that way. It's an inside job. It starts with you. It starts from the lowest point. You've got to say, today's the last day. No more. This is it. You know, have you reached that point where it's like, today is the day, this is it, no more? You want five clients. Did you see my video from yesterday? 5. There are 3.2 billion people, not million, billion people on Facebook every 31 days. Every month, billion. And you can't find 5. It's not the reason you can't get clients. It's not the reason you think. You're trying to lose weight and you can't lose weight. And I've gone through this. I'm going through it still. And so I know what it is to be in your physical body and you want to lose weight and you can't. But you're not losing weight, not for the reason you think. It's not the food. It's not laziness. It's not the reason. It is always, ladies, always queens. It is always an inside job. You didn't settle for your husband because you wanted to get married and you just wanted to leave your small town and he was the best thing coming. That's not it. That's not why. Don't put it on him. It's you. Why did you do that? Why did you get married? Why? Why? So you need to analyze your story. And I strongly suggest that you write this down. Okay. What do you believe about yourself? Again, nobody's inside in between your ears. What tape are you playing? Okay. Again, I'll be very forthright. For me right now, it's really getting to the next level of monthly revenue. And understanding who I need to be for that. I'll share with you, since this is my private group. I might have to take this part down on YouTube. So I had a phenomenal opportunity, and I still have a phenomenal opportunity to purchase a beauty salon. It is a beauty lounge is what it's called. It is the bomb.com. It is the best place It is already styled the way that I love. It is already in the perfect location. It's got the perfect traffic. It's parking, everything. It could not be more perfect. The only thing that it's lacking is me. So again, someone said, hey, you should buy this place. And I thought to myself, this is the I'm telling you this because this is the story I tell myself. Someone said, you should buy this place. And I was like, me? Can't buy this place. Instantly, story. Because my mind was like, oh, it must be like super expensive. Again, best location, traffic, could not be better. Already perfectly designed interior, could not be better. Perfect name. I love the name. Wouldn't have to change the name. Just everything was perfect. Chandeliers and everything. Honestly, it was like had Theresa written all over it. So I was like, man, how, wow, I'm thinking $500,000, right? And that wasn't the number. And I was thinking, okay, $250,000, and that wasn't the number. And I thought, wow, really? And so anyway, my story is I couldn't afford to buy a business like this. You know what I mean? Not that I couldn't do it. I passed that. I could totally do it, blow it out of the water, make more than $1 million. But my story was I couldn't own a business like that. And it kind of hit me like, Theresa, where did that thought come from? Well, of course I can own a business like that. And obviously I could, because the person, we were not talking about business at all. The person was like, you should buy it. You know, so what was it about me that made her make the recommendation to me? So here's what I'll say to that. Whatever story or lie it is that you're telling yourself, other people already see the opposite. Other people already see the truth in you. Again, remember me talking about my vendor who brought the secret into me. I thought it was cool. She already saw it, which means a lot of other people saw it. Again, whatever lie you're telling to yourself, other people already see the truth. The truth is so transparent. The truth is so transparent. Everybody sees it. You know, there's a kid who's coming up and the kid loves to paint, but the parents, you know, tell the kid that he has to be a doctor. But everybody's like, but he's a painter. Why would he be a doctor? You know, or the little girl is growing up and she loves to drive trucks. She can drive. She drives everybody everywhere. But the mom is encouraging her to get married, start a family, you know, but everybody's like, but she can do that. She's a great truck driver. Let her drive trucks. You know, other people can already see the truth in you. Why? Because spirit is the real deal. Spirit is honest. Spirit is transparent. Let spirit guide you. Let intuition guide you. And the last one, and then again, we're going to finish up tomorrow night. Make a decision. I touched on this a little bit in the first day one of the branding bootcamp, because to me, it means everything. And this will not be the last time you hear it. Decision comes from a Greek word. The etymology means incision, to cut away. So when you make a decision, you have to cut away from that thing, okay? The person, the people, the zip code, the place, the behavior, the habit. You have to cut it out. You really just have to cut it out. So how does that look? You burn the boats. You do not have a plan B. You do not, you know, if it's a person, you decide, sorry, I can't talk to you anymore. And you don't have to tell them that. You know, you can put the person's name on a piece of paper, hold it up and go, okay, I'm sorry, not talking to you anymore. And when they end, have a plan. Decide, I'm not talking to this person anymore. They're too negative. They're not feeding my spirit. They're not taking me where I need to go. Every time I'm around them, I always feel icky when I leave. You know, they're always talking about, one thing I do not do is participate in gossip. I learned that the hard way. Do not participate in gossip. If someone's talking to you about someone else, it goes both ways. Period. Pointblank.com. Don't participate in gossip. It does you no good. Excuse me for saying it that way. It does not feed your spirit. And where is it taking you? Okay. Have a plan, cut the person off, and just tell yourself, have something else to do all the time. Just always have something else to do. And spirit will lead you and guide you. And before you know it, it will not even be an issue anymore. So I am working on my physical transformation. And so one of the things I do is just, I don't buy bad food. I don't buy food that I'm not supposed to eat. If I'm going through a period and I don't want a lot of carbs, guess what? I'm not buying chips. I'm not buying junk food anymore at all. Sorry, my Italian friends, I was living on the pasta and the chips and all of oh man. Oh, I can't even say it without wanting some. But, just don't buy it. If you are if you want to transform your body, don't buy what doesn't transform your body in the way that you want. So if you know that you have a milk intolerance and your whole family drinks milk, you say, hey, family, we have to drink something else. You're in charge of this. You control this. Nobody else is in control of this but you. Okay? Don't make decisions based off of how somebody else is going to feel. Children, husbands, boyfriends, aunts, uncles, all of them. Okay? People will rise up to where you are. You don't lower yourself to their standards. Let them rise up to your standards. Okay? So your whole family is drinking regular milk. You're intolerant. You're trying to lose some weight. Hey, family, guess what? New gig. New rules. We no longer eat cow milk or drink cow milk. Okay, we're going to almond milk. Just don't buy it. All right. And that's for everything. If you want to change your appearance, want a new hairstyle or whatever, I don't know, whatever it is for you, we're going to stick with business. Okay. You want more clients. And that's all you're talking about. I want more clients. I want more money. I want more revenue. Are you doing the things to really get more clients? And whatever it is that you should do, whatever it is that you're doing that's not getting you more clients, stop it. Make a decision to decide, all right, I'm not really showing up online talking about business. Stop that. Make a decision, decide, cut it out. That's all. It's simple. You can do this tonight. What is it can you do tonight? I'm trying to think. Okay, so you hate email marketing. You don't like to send emails. And technology, it makes it so easy today. You can do 5 emails on a Sunday, schedule them out 1 week after the other. You have 5 emails, 5 weeks, and you have a month's worth and a week of emails. Okay? It's got to, the pain has to be big enough for you that making the decision, it's not an easy decision, but it's one you have to make. So me, I know I couldn't kill myself. I mean, as often as I thought about it, it just wasn't something that I knew I could do, but I also was miserable as all get out. And I knew I needed to change. I knew that I didn't like my body. I knew that I got tired of wearing like 2 waist trainers, 2 girdles. Got tired of all of that, right? I could get my waist in, but woof, I couldn't really breathe much. And so I got tired of that and just not feeling good in my skin. So, I had to change my behavior. This is about habits. This is about changing behaviors. When you decide, I don't like living like this anymore. I don't like thinking about like this anymore. These stories don't serve me anymore. This story is a lie. I'm going to give you an exercise to get rid of the lie. This story is a lie. It's not even who I am anymore. It's not even who I am. When I think about the Theresa that came to LA back in 1990, woo, child, she was So naive, so very, very, very naive. When I think about that, Theresa, she was very naive. She believed everything. And now I can't even imagine being that person. I can't even imagine being that woman. That's the type of transformation you want. That's the type of breakthrough you want. You want to look back at that person and go, wow, I really was her. I'm not her anymore, but I was her. You want to be so disassociated from the behavior that got you to that point that you can't even fathom being that anymore. You know what I mean? So that's what this is about, a breakthrough that's going to last. You could start tonight. How do you break the lie? Write the lie on a piece of paper. Write the lie on a piece of paper. So I can't buy a $500,000 business, or I can't own a $500,000 business. Brick and mortar, totally different from an online business. Brick and mortar, tax, all of the stuff that comes along with it, health, regulations, everything. But I was ready, and I am ready, and the offer is still on the table, mind you. So I am ready. And here's what's so different about me today versus even 5 years ago. It's a possibility. I think about the offer, and it's possible. And that's what I want you to think. Whatever it is that you want to be, just say it's possible. Just say it's possible. That's all. Don't add to it. I want 5 clients. It's possible. I want $10,000 revenue a day. It's possible. Just say that, stop there. It's possible. I want to live in Italy for a year. It's possible. Just say it, leave it there. Let God, spirit, intuition take care of the rest. You just keep showing up. Here's how you get rid of the lie. Okay. Write it down on a piece of paper. I cannot own a $500,000 business. And cross it out. What's the truth? The truth is, I can own a $500,000 business. Write all of your lies on a piece of paper, all of your stories. Write them on a piece of paper. Boom, 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 boom. 10. I don't know how many lies you have. Write on a piece of paper. Okay. Lies on one side. Then write your truth on the other side. What's real? Okay, lie. Money doesn't grow on trees. Okay, money is hard to come by. Let's start there. Money is hard to come by. Cross it out. I'm sorry. Write the truth. Cross it out. Fold the paper. One side you have your lies all crossed out. On the other side, you have the truth. And every day, read your truth. Read what's true. Read what's possible. All right. So that's the 3. All right. So the 3 are, go back through this again very quickly. I'm going to come back tonight. Won't be on so long tomorrow night. I hope not. So hit a low point. You've got to hit a low point, so much so that you walking through hell, you've got to get out. You want to live. You need a new life. You need a new way of thinking. You need a new way of being. You want 6 months from now to be a totally different person. And that is possible. 6 months. Totally different person. Oh, here's what I want to say. A case in point, if you go to my YouTube page, look at any YouTube from like 2013, 2014, man, they were something. Even 2015, some of those videos, when I look at them, I just laugh. If I want a good laugh, I go watch my old YouTube videos. Some of those things were so crazy, but you know what? It's done. It's done. I can look back at that Theresa and go, she was doing the best that she had at the time with all of the tools and resources that she had. She was doing the best that she could, and that was okay. I look back at her now and I can see things that I would have done differently, but that's okay. You do the best that you can with what you have, and that's all. The very best. Excellence. Not average, not mediocre. The best that you can with what you have, okay? So then you're going to analyze your story. Write your lies on one side. right? The truth, the opposite of that, what's really true. Listen to your spirit, meditate, pray, drink some nice water, have some, okay, nice glass too. Fold it in half, cross out every lie. Cross it out, boom, boom, boom. Now you have the truth. That's what's possible for you. That's what you recite every day, okay? And then make a decision. You're just gonna make a decision. Cut it out. Whatever is the old stuff, the bad stuff, it's not getting me anywhere stuff, cut it out, sis. Just stop it. You already know. If you know you need to stop drinking coffee, stop it. Doesn't make you feel good. If you know you need to get up and go work out, go work out. Stop lounging. Stop, eating the stuff that okay. If you know you need 5 clients and nobody knows you have a business, stop it. Cut it out. Tell us. If you need to get a podcast going and you're not and you keep procrastinating, stop it. Get a podcast. Just do it. Grab your phone. You have a phone. Get a light and talk. Turn your phone on and talk. Start there. What we're not going to do going forward, 2021, you've got 6 months left in this year, 6.5. And you can be anything that you desire to be come December 2021. You can be whatever you decide by December 21. And I'm here to help you do that, to walk you through the entire way. But you've got to make a decision that today is the last day that I live like this. Say goodbye, whatever your name is. Hey, Theresa, goodbye. Today's the last day I see you like this. Today is the last day you behave like this. Today is the last day you have that habit. Today is the last day. Look, everybody's looking, I said it before, everybody's looking for a savior. Everybody's looking for the next guru. Everybody's looking for the next preacher, the next TD Jakes, the next this, the next that. Doesn't exist. That next is you. The next is you. So you look in the mirror and say, you know what? See you later, alligator. It's the last day I see you like that, Theresa. It's the last day I see you like that, Bridget. It's the last day I see you like that, Shaniqua. It's the last day. Today is the last day I see you like this. That went longer than I expected, but I'm glad. That feels good for me. Hope it feels good for you. So I don't want you to wait anymore. I don't want you to sit on the sideline anymore. I don't want you watching me from the other side of the screen anymore. I want you in the game. And I don't know what that is. Maybe it's not even a business for you. Maybe you're in corporate and you're ready to go to the next level. I don't know what that is for you. Maybe you want to start a nonprofit. Okay. Maybe you want to take more of a leadership role in your church, in your organization. Not quite sure what it is. It can be anything. These strategies that I'm sharing with you, actually, I'm calling it a branding boot camp, but they apply for life. You can apply these to everything, anything that you want to achieve, to make you a better person, to make you a better woman. That's what this is about. Making you a better woman. Maybe that's what I should call it. Instead of a branding boot camp, better woman boot camp. Okay, you're waiting. Oh man, I'm going to try and say this without getting emotional. You're waiting for the man. You're waiting for the promotion. You're waiting for the money. You're waiting for the big check. You're waiting for all of the conditions to be right. You're waiting to be skinny. You're waiting to be a size 4. You're waiting to get your hair done. Are you waiting to get your nails done? Are you waiting? You're just waiting for what? You're waiting for your husband to get his act together, for your boyfriend to propose. You're just sitting around wasting time, waiting on something outside of you. And here's what I'll say. COVID didn't wait for us. COVID didn't wait. Poverty doesn't wait. Poverty doesn't wait. Poverty sneaks right on in and grabs a whole bunch of people and say, come on with me with your lack mindset. Come down here with me. Poverty will pull you down. Poverty doesn't wait. COVID didn't wait. Took out how many people? So many people left us. COVID didn't wait. That invisible virus that people say they don't believe in, things that they don't see. It's not true. COVID didn't wait. And here we are, May 2021, trying to be our best selves, and you're waiting for what? Whew. What are you waiting for? Okay, I encourage you tonight, May 7th, just about, can't see, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern, all points in between, to no longer wait. Okay, get yourself together, cut it out. Don't listen to the lies. Make a decision, cut it out. Whatever the bad habits are, whatever the bad behavior is, cut it out. Or remember when your mom used to say that? Cut it out. The stories and the lies that you're telling yourself, they're not true. Write the truth. You write the truth. Don't wait for anybody else. You write the truth. And decide, what is your barrier? What is your breaking point? Draw a line in the sand. This is my line. I will not go past this anymore. And let's move on. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to take some women with me to the promised land, okay? I'm ready to be all that and all the bags of chips on the shelf and just enjoy this next chapter. God has given us a great new lease on life, okay? If you are here for a reason, all right? So many people left us. Blessed and highly favored you are. Blessed and highly favored you are. If you're watching this, you are blessed and highly favored. I'm coming back tomorrow night, part 2 of how to have a breakthrough today. Let me know what you thought about this. Do this exercises that I mentioned, okay? They work. I'm a living testimony. They work. And stop sitting on the sidelines. Get out there. Get out there tomorrow. Okay, today. Whatever your today is, get out there today. Post on social media, send an email, write a letter, write a note to yourself, be good to yourself, drink water, exercise, meditate, pray, read, turn off Netflix, turn off Amazon, turn off those shows, and read something that's going to fill your spirit, feed you from the inside out, okay? I'm going to say this one last thing and then I will go, all right? You need to be spending an hour a day on things that matter, that really matter with regards to your destiny. An hour reading, it can be video, I'll say that. An hour nourishing your mindset, okay? You need to be meditating. You need to be exercising. You need to work on your business, okay? So sending an email, posting on social media, whatever the case may be, or hiring someone, you need to spend some time networking with other people. Liking don't just go on Instagram and just don't go on LinkedIn and Twitter to see what's happening. Engage with people. It's called social media. That means you have to be social, okay? You have to engage and talk and chat and do all of those things. So you need to be doing a little bit of that every day. Eating well, good food, good water, good, all of this stuff, okay? Taking care of your skin, taking care of your hair, just taking care of you. Put you first, all right? Put you first. I hope you enjoyed tonight. I'll be back tomorrow again. Day 4, the Kamala Code, Power, Purpose, Poise. Power, Purpose, and Poise. We're talking about how to have a breakthrough today. How appropriate for Mother's Day. How to have a breakthrough today. Moms, hang in there. Moms, you're everything. I can't even imagine being a mom right now and having to homeschool and work. God bless you all. Send you all the power. Send you all the power. Whoosh. Okay, so back tomorrow night. Theresa Campbell here, your branding expert. When you're ready for your business to be branded to a T, come and see me, please. You can find me at bnextentertainment.com. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good evening. Ciao. Bye-bye.